Why did the settlement of Mothutlung in the northwest run out of water, leading to the protest that tore through the township last week, leaving 4 people dead? Why was water provided only after people died, despite the fact that they had been without water since December? My guest today is Water Affairs Minister Edna Molewa. Welcome to the show. Let me ask you, who is responsible for the failure to deliver water to the people of Mothutlung?
Thank you very much for that question, Justice. I actually wanted to start with that issue. In South Africa, we function within laws that flows from the Constitution. National Water Act, National Services Act. Those are the 2 separate acts. Resource at national water level is provided by National Department. And it is just the National Department that works in that space. And then the service is actually dealt with by the municipalities. All services, reticulation, maintenance, and all those things.
So you are responsible for the failure to deliver water to the people of Mothutlung and others from December until they went and protested.
I suppose you understand that that's actually the area of service, that delivery of water to a locality. I am not, however, denying the fact that I'm also responsible for water, because I'm overall in charge and I'm overall responsible. However, in the intervention that one has got to do, it must be borne in mind that we're actually moving there through the intergovernmental relations. I can't just walk into Western Cape, for instance, and say, I'm coming to fix your pipes, I'm coming to do whatever it does.
You walked in last week and did it.
Oh yes, I was called, and there was a crisis. And once there's such a situation, we'll obviously move in, and we did that, and we did that to the best of our ability. In 3 days' time, we got the problem right. But it doesn't mean that we've got to stay there and do that work. We've got to provide capacity, yes, indeed, I agree, which is something that we are doing right now to train people who are going to be deployed in municipalities already. There are some who have been deployed in Mpumalanga province as specialists in artisans as well as in areas of engineering services.
Minister, I'm interested in the fact that in this country we don't seem to take responsibility. I'm happy you're taking some responsibility for this. But if you could go in, within 3 days, you managed to provide water to the people of Mothutlung. 2 of the 3 pumps in that supply Mothutlung had been broken for 2 years. You didn't walk in and say, let's fix this. You didn't say to the mayor of Madibeng, let's fix this right now. A 3rd pump was broken. Nothing was done about it. Basically, what I'm saying to you is that you and your colleagues at local government sat and watched and waited for people to die before you acted.
In the first instance, I want to say, Justice, the 2 years, the 6 years, the 6 months, the 2 weeks that the pumps were broken, I hear about all those stories from people. What I know, though, is that as I speak, I will be finalizing the investigation to tell us, all of us as South Africans, whether these pumps were broken 3 months ago, 6 months ago, or whatever time. Because there are different stories told by different people. And that the jury is out still on.
Who's going to be fired for this? Who is going to take responsibility for the death of those 3 people?
Well, I don't know about the death. As you know, that's an area for police. I'm talking about the water provision. And in this instance, I'm saying that once we find out that so-and-so was responsible for cutting that pipe, the 600 diameter pipe, by the way, which was cut last week, Thursday, 2 weeks ago on Thursday, or on Friday, the people didn't have water. I call this, people may say, may agree or disagree with me, it's actually sabotage. The pump, at least. The pump stations and the pipeline. The pump stations and 3 pumps that we're talking about, those are the areas that I'm still investigating. Once I found out who is responsible, by the way, let me say this, that there have been people who are responsible for closing the valves so that people do not receive water in that specific area. We were not able to find out who they were. This time around, we're looking for a human being who closed the water and ensured that people do not have water. In Mitlabile, they did it in this past week, as well as in Macau. So this will not continuously happen, Justice. And I really bet that once we find this person, whoever it is, we will really deal with that issue.
I'm not sure if we can say it's sabotage, because it's not, as you rightly say, Macau is also now doesn't have water. There's Jericho, which is not far from here. There's Damosville, which is not far from here. And then you look at the history of what your department has failed to do. Grahamstown in 2013, 11 communities went for 11 days without water. In the Free State, there are towns which are without water.
Let me repeat this for purpose of clarity.
Yes.
My department provide water at resource level.
Yes.
You keep on saying fail to do. The aspects you're talking about, let me clarify again, is services. We are supporting those municipalities at service level. That's clear, I hope. Then,
It is clear.
the
Yes.
next thing, Justice, if I may actually just elaborate this for purpose of South Africans. We in South Africa have a backlog on water provision. The backlog I'm talking about is, take a town like Brits. This water treatment plant, by the way, that we are fixing, the pumps of which we are fixing, were built in way back before 1972. Built for people in the small town called Brits, Litlabile township, small one, and Ogasi. Now you've got villages connected, Makau, Madidi, and so on. And naturally, when a situation of like that occurs, you don't necessarily have adequate and sufficient supply. On that note, and I'm explaining why there's erratic water supply. And these two things we've got to keep as separate can be. The breakdown of the 3 pumps and the pipeline from the erratic supply of day to day, which is caused by this short infrastructure, or the minimal infrastructure that's supposed to actually supply all the people. You spoke about Grahamstown. Grahamstown, same thing. The infrastructure is too small. Pump also broke down. We moved in, Justice, again as this Department of Water Affairs, because we support our municipalities and because we want people to have water at all times. We repaired the pump. Again, it was a custom-made pump. The bigger pump came to be fixed
Let
in
me
Johannesburg.
interrupt you because it seems as if you go in and you put out the fire and you leave all these people to go on and with their own, you leave them to their own devices. So Mothutlung, you went in, you've solved the problem, and congratulations on that. But actually, you leave, and the mayor and particularly the officials will be going about their business the next day, giving tenders, as is alleged, in that municipality to their friends, and it will be all hunky-dory, and the same problem will come back again.
I'm coming back to that point again.
Okay.
It is not a duty of a national department minister to stay in a municipality. It is a duty to support that municipality.
What do we do about these people who are undermining the good work that you may be doing?
What we're doing in support, Justice, let me finish this point first, is to ensure that we have the teams called the RRUs, Rapid Response Units, that work there. But coming to that point about people who are allegedly defrauding the state on tenders and through tenders, I want to put it categorically that this government, and especially our department, will not let that go. And I know that, as a matter of fact, as we speak right now, there's something that's been done, action has been taken against those people. We are also investigating, by the way, because we don't think that, and we wouldn't rather say that that was the end of the investigation or the outcome of those who were found to be having probably allegedly their hands in their tills, and in all. Even in this instance, as there was provision of tankering in that area of Mothutlung, we are going to continue to investigate in case there are other new people who were not necessarily referred to in the previous report that was done.
This is a municipality. Shouldn't this municipality be placed under administration? It was found in an audit that 1 billion rand in its assets are missing. It underspent 70 million rand in infrastructure. Surely these people are not fit to be running this municipality. They should be fired. Surely you should go to your boss, President Zuma, and say, I can't work and go and fix problems where a municipality is clearly failing like this.
I have referred to intervention earlier on. There are 2 sections of interventions that national government can use and should use when in a situation like that. There's Section 139 for a municipality and 100 for a province. And there's Section 154. There's a decision that has been made to implement Section 154. What does it say? It says, move into that municipality, provide support, deal with the turnaround and all those issues that are going wrong, deal with them. That decision has been made, and that decision is being implemented. I do know, as a matter of fact, that municipality will be meeting tomorrow to actually fully implement that section because they have implemented it. And that's one way of intervening in that municipality.
Minister, we've run out of time, but our constitution says water is a basic human right. Are we succeeding in giving people water when people die for it?
I think we are. It is really a sad story that people had to die. And I must say, really say that from the bottom of hearts, we are very, very sorry about that. Indeed, it is our duty to ensure that we provide people with water. We are going to continue to do that. In this country, we know that there's over-aged infrastructure, there's skills capacity problems. We are dealing with all those things in order for us to bring about the remaining few percentage, or from the 92%, over 92% that has been provided for by water. The shortage and the shortfall is as a result of this infrastructure that's in trouble.
Minister Edna Molewa, thanks so much for your time, and I wish you luck.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure speaking to you. After the break, our winner and loser of the week. Stay with us.
News that moves. eNCA.com.